It's your tech moment. U.S. government cyber failures. Catalin Simpano writes, report shows failures at 8 U.S. agencies in following cybersecurity protocols. A new report published by the U.S. Senate yesterday reveals a decade-long string of failures on the part of 8 government agencies who failed to follow basic cybersecurity protocols and exposed their networks and U.S. citizens' most personal data to attackers. The report was ordered by U.S. Senators Rob Portman, Republican from Ohio, and Tom Carper, Democrat from Delaware, the chairman and ranking member of the U.S. Senate Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations on Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs. The investigators reviewed the past 10 years of inspectors' general reports on compliance with federal information security standards. The investigation took 10 months and analyzed the cybersecurity compliance of 8 U.S. government agencies: the Department of State, the Department of Transportation, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, the Department of Agriculture, the Department of Health and Human Services, the Department of Education, the Social Security Administration, and the Department of Homeland Security. Investigators specifically analyzed the activities of the first 7 agencies because they were cited in Office of Budget and Management reports as having the lowest ratings with regard to cybersecurity practices. You can get the breakdown of just how bad things are over at ZDNet. Paula Fagan writes, Data Security and the Legal Sector, ISO 27001 for law firms. With the legal sector reporting an increase in targeted attacks in 2018, information security management remains a serious issue for law firms. The confidential information and large volumes of client funds they hold are highly desirable to cyber criminals, so it's not surprising that 60% of law firms reported that they suffered a security incident last year. This comes from PricewaterhouseCoopers Law Firm Survey of 2018. With increased levels of cyber attacks, information security must be a priority. While a cyber criminal or terrorist organization may be held off by firewalls and intrusion detection systems, these systems cannot manage the intricacies of business relationships or global trade. As such, a security regime focused solely on technology will fail. You can read more about how this new standard can help mitigate risk in your practice over at IT Governance blog. Phil Muncaster reports, recipe for disaster as tech support scammers use paid search. Tech support gangs have been spotted using paid search to reel in unsuspecting victims looking for food-related content online, according to Malwarebytes. The security vendor spotted scammers buying ads for Google and Bing, which it said are designed to lure older netizens searching for food recipes. Quote, this scheme has actually been going on for months and it has intensified recently, all the while keeping the same modus operandi, quote, it said. Although not overly sophisticated, the threat actors behind it have been able to abuse major ad platforms and hosting providers for several months. As paid search entries are displayed at the top of search listings, users are more likely to click through. Doing so took them to specially created food blogs built by the scammers, complete with comments on the various articles. However, upon closer inspection, we can see that those sites have basically taken content from various web developer sites offering paid or free HTML templates, said Malwarebytes. In the right circumstances, the user is redirected to a browlock or fake warning page, which is common in tech support scams. It checks for browser and OS, displays a relevant message claiming the user's machine has been blocked because of a virus alert from Microsoft. You get the rest of this story at InfoSecurity magazine. And here's a rundown of some interesting headlines from DSL reports. Maine governor signs net neutrality law. That's coming from FresnoB.com. Verizon CTO seeing very little churn so far for a 5G home service. That comes from crwireless.com. T-Mobile downplays 5G launch in 6 U.S. cities disguised as new phone news. That story is over at telecompetitor.com. Comcast enables robocall blocking for Xfinity Mobile. That story is at multichannel.com. Senate introduces Spectrum Now Act to accelerate the repurposing of spectrum for 5G, specifically by freeing up more mid-band spectrum. That story is also over at multichannel.com. Organizations outside the telecom sector are starting to invest in their own 5G networks, with ramifications for operators and vendors alike. The story is at lightreading.com. Verizon versus AT&T versus Sprint. Guess who's winning at 5G now? That story can be found at cnet.com. FCC ruling gives Verizon approval to lock new phones for 60 days. That story is at phonearena.com. U.S. companies find legal ways around Trump's Huawei blacklist. That story is at thestar.com.my. Elsewhere around the web, there's a headline: Second City pays giant ransom to ransomware gang in a week. ZDNet's reporting that it's $500,000. San Francisco takes the final steps towards becoming the first U.S. city to ban vaping product sales. This big story is over at TechCrunch.com. Help me out by thumbing this up or give it claps or telling people or sharing it on social media, please. I would appreciate it. Politics may be married to technology and big media, but sometimes individuals can make a difference. Get the Dirty Deeds Playbook today for just $2.99 on Kindle or for a few dollars more in paperback. This satirical field manual uses fools and fanatics to sow chaos on American elections. Tools and techniques, observations, and deception I've seen in the election process over these past few years. Support this news aggregation service by checking out my website at yourtechmoment.com today. Links there show all the places you can listen or watch for free. Also, find out about my other projects, subscribe to my newsletter and alerts, or buy books, advertise, and support this project with some merchandise purchases. Have a great day.